Aaron Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
It is high, it is far, it is gone. With heavy hearts, we open today's episode of Losses Above Replacement. I'm Splash, joined by Mac and Alex as always. But today we are mourning the loss of two baseball icons. One, John Sterling, iconic Yankees announcer, Braves announcer, the voice of the New York Yankees for 30 plus years, the voice of seemingly every clutch moment in Yankees history, called 5 World Series wins, called every game of Derek Jeter's illustrious career, also called the Rick Camp game, one of the greatest games ever played. And today we received news: Ted Turner, former owner of the Atlanta Braves, creator of TBS, had passed. So, fellas, what any words?
It's hard, right? Like, it's never easy to say goodbye, especially to two men that really meant a lot to the entire baseball industry, as well as the entire media industry. Like, for me, like, I learned about Ted Turner more through my love of wrestling than I did through baseball, because through baseball I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that just kind of makes sense. Then you learn more about what Ted Turner liked when it came to wrestling and his thing with WCW, which led to the Monday Night Wars and all that stuff here. But the man is one of the biggest pioneers, not just of television, but of all broadcast. Like, it was his passion and his drive that helped really basically supercharge what it meant to be a broadcast network here. And he truly was one of the biggest superpowers out there because of it. And it was like, I understand, he was not always the best of all time, but man, without Ted Turner, I don't even want to think where kind of TV would be today, how broadcast would look today. And then, of course, John Sterling as a broadcaster, myself, all of us are broadcasters in our own rights here. This is a day that one of the greatest of all time has left us. Like, Sterling, like you said, he is the voice of some of the most incredible calls that the game has ever seen. Has done it all, basically, with the Yankees here. So, you know what? Hey, it is never easy to say goodbye, but it is very, very easy to talk about these illustrious men and the greatness that they brought to not just baseball, but to all of our lives.
Yeah, I mean, for me, growing up in New York, John Sterling was. I'm not even a Yankee fan, but like I can't even remember a world really without up until 2024 without John Sterling's voice on the radio. And the crazy thing about his career with the Yankees, 36 years, he didn't even get that job until he was 50 years old. And him and Gary Cohen both came to New York radio the same year, 1989. And the fact that basically had his own style. You saw everyone pay homage to all those broadcasters pay homage to him. It really also speaks to that he was more than just a broadcaster. He was just such a great man. Everyone seemed to love him. All these tributes talk about how kind of a person he was. And so, yeah, it's a huge loss. Not obviously he was an icon for the Yankees, but for the entire broadcasting world. And then Ted Turner, I mean, we probably wouldn't have a lot of things on TV without him. I mean, talk about TNT, TBS, CNN. I bet a lot of us grew up watching Cartoon Network. That was also Ted Turner who founded Cartoon Network. So, I mean, he was a giant of the world. And yeah, I mean, this is a guy who will be remembered for everything he brought to television, to broadcasting. And yeah, I mean, these are two just icons of our world that have left us.
one thing I want to say, actually, just kind of while on that, I had this thought earlier today, which, by the way, XYZ Ball, and I'll get to what your post here just a second here. But the passing of Ted Turner specifically affects all three of us in very different ways because of how different our viewing was growing up. Splash, again, he was the owner of the Braves for 20 years here. He was a major person in, I don't want to say the formation of the Braves, but into the Braves of who they are today. Here, for me, it was, his big thing with wrestling. Here, how much he meant to the world of wrestling and how his competition with Vince McMahon basically helped spark the surge of wrestling in the 90s. Here, and Mac, with you especially, I know you and I have had a lot of conversations about Cartoon Network, like you brought up here. I was never as much of a Cartoon Network kid, but I know a lot of people that were. I was more Nickelodeon, but that's also neither here nor there. I still respected the heck out of it here, but the fact that it affected all three of us in these certain ways. As for my favorite Cartoon Network show, I don't honestly know. There's a few that are really, really good. I kind of want to say Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, though. That was always a classic.
I don't know if you guys were old enough for this one, or at least the viewers.
I'm older than you.
I know, but Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was
that one's
favorite
goated.
shows growing up, so that's got to probably be mine. I wish it never got canceled.
Same.
Yeah, to be honest, I was a Nickelodeon and Disney kid, so I couldn't tell you a single like Cartoon Network show, and with the hope that it's on Cartoon Network itself. So I'm not going to try. But yeah, we lost two men that loved the game of baseball, and I think that's important. That we all have our passions, and it was evident in everything that John Sterling did with the Yankees and with the Braves before he became the voice of the Yankees, that they loved baseball, and Ted Turner, rich billionaire, owns a sports franchise. Actually, two. I believe he owned the Hawks too. Yep. And he builds TBS, and that's a big reason why it's called Braves Country. It's you go around the country and there's Yankees fans everywhere because they're the Yankees. It's Cubs fans everywhere. Those are the Cubs, WGN, and then there's Braves fans everywhere. Like I would imagine the Braves are like the third most popular team in the entire country, maybe the fourth with the Dodgers now. But it's just it was an incredible blessing, growing up in that, the end, really the end of that era. I obviously didn't get to see the 90s, but like you could see like the field itself is called the Ted Turner Field. And you felt the love going into the ballpark every night. You felt just the passion that he had for baseball, and the stories are just phenomenal. The best one is when the Braves are on a big losing streak. He fires the manager, and he steps in as the manager, and the National League president's like, "No, you can't do that." Stop. But like that's the man Ted Turner was. He pushed boundaries. He said, "You know what? We're gonna put the Braves on TV everywhere, not just in Atlanta, not just in Georgia, not just in the South, everywhere." Right? The Braves were in Seattle this week, and there was Braves fans everywhere. There were Braves fans in Colorado all last week. And today, Wiley, the sideline reporter, was going into the crowd talking to pockets of Braves fans. They're all telling their favorite memories of, Ted Turner, their favorite Braves memories. And that's across the country. That's like a 4-hour flight to Seattle. So a lot of people are from Juneau, Alaska. They're Braves fans, or Fargo, North Dakota. They could be Braves fans, and that's just I feel super blessed to be a part of it. And of course, I'm from Georgia, so I'm not that far away, but just an absolute blessing, and two men who will be missed in this community.
I think I've told you guys this before here, but the Braves were my second team. And honestly, to be fair, I still kind of have them as my second team here, because growing up here, I loved Chipper Jones. And how did I know about Chipper Jones? Because there was broadcasts that at least went to Seattle here. There was actual some level of like, how could this kid that doesn't get to watch a whole lot, how does he even know that the Braves exist? Well, Ted Turner is the reason for that here. So I have him very much to thank for that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up, like there were I remember TBS. I think like whenever I would watch whatever baseball was on TV. And to be fair, I still try to do that, but I had far more time on my hands back then. I remember just like flipping through channels and discovering that there were Braves games on. Like, just like randomly, like I didn't even know that was possible for me. I don't know. I didn't explore the television guide that much, I guess, back then. But yeah, I mean, I remember basically anyone around the country could watch the Braves on TBS. So yeah, that was definitely he definitely made a huge impact there.
Yeah,
TV guide that just sent me back about another 30 years. My gosh.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, rest in peace to John Sterling. Rest in peace to Ted Turner. And we move on to not quite somber news, but more disappointing news in the realm of the injury world. We will start with the two-time reigning Cy Young Award winner, that is Tarik Skubal. He is out for 2 to 3 months with bone chips in the old left elbow. Not exactly ideal. Mac, on a scale of 1 to Titanic, how cooked are the Tigers?
They're in a lot of trouble. I don't know if I can quite put a number on it, but this was supposed to be their year in the Central where they just cruise to a division title, and they were already off to a rough start. I mean, they're technically in first place right now, albeit they're under 500, but that rotation is just kind of a mess right now. Casey Mize is also injured. Jack Flaherty is underperformed. Framber Valdez has underperformed and just got suspended for being a little erratic on the mound, to say the least. But yeah, this team as a whole has underperformed. I mean, look at that pitching staff. The only guy really playing expectations, I guess, is Keter Montero, but Mize and Skubal, their two best pitchers, are both injured now. Their offense just lost Gleyber Torres, and as a whole has underperformed. Really, outside of Kevin McGonigal, it feels like Riley Green's been solid, but really it's just been a disappointing year. The only thing that they can do now, or the least they can do now, while Skubal's out, just tread water. This is a weak division. If you hang around 500 into the summer, when you get Skubal back, he's probably out at 2 to 3 months. If you can hang around 500 into July, mid to late July, you have a shot at the division. So I don't know if it's possible for them to tread water, but that's how they stay alive in this race. If not, you're looking at a world where you're probably a seller at the trade deadline, and that would be a colossal disappointment. This is, Skubal's probably last year in Detroit, and it would be a shame for it to go to waste.
So I like you brought up Titanic here on this, because my level of worry at this point is just hit the iceberg. Because legitimately, here's the thing. Their team has been breaking for the last 2 weeks. Here, Casey Mize injured, Tarik Skubal injured, Javi Baez injured, everybody injured. Here, this is the part of the Titanic movie where the Titanic episode, whatever you want to call the historic moment in history, where it hits the iceberg. There's a lot of things that can be done. There's a lot of things that weren't done, as we know from studying history, but there's a lot of things here that they can still do. This is not the absolute end. You just have to play very carefully. Because, like you said right now, they're still in first place, albeit barely. The entire AL Central is playing below expectations here, unless your name is Munetaka Murakami, in which you are the GOAT of baseball right now. And you know what? Hell yeah. But here's the thing, right? That plays more into the Tigers' advantage. The fact that the entire AL Central is playing as bad as they are. That gives them more credibility to, at the very least, ride the wave. To make another boat reference, I guess. But no, like, they can do it. Here, it's just about, can the team just hold a little bit of water? Can the team tread the water until they get to getting Skubal back? Until, is Mize out for the year? Is he, like, is there a timetable on his return?
It's not a significant injury. It's just,
that's what I thought.
When your rotation's already sinking the way it is, then you can ill afford to just keep losing guys for periods of time.
And I'm just going to give little 2 cents on this as well when it comes to Framber Valdez. I've been known to not be a fan of his, but I do want to bring up one thing. In his StatCast history, he has 2 four-seam fastball usages, and they are both hit by pitch. Wonder what that means. But, so, with that being said, though, like, right now, over half of your rotation is cooked. Over half of your rotation is not playing baseball as of Cinco de Mayo. Or sorry, no, as of the 6th of March. I was off by 1 day. But
and then you said March.
Gosh dang it!
It sounds like the AL Central.
Honestly, it really does, yeah.
Yeah. Here's some cold water, I guess, on our sinking of the Tigers. The Tigers, according to Fangraphs, are favored to win the division 41%, followed by the Royals 24%, Guardians 17%, Twins 15%, and the White Sox at a robust 1.2%.
Being slept on, man.
Yeah, absolutely slept on.
honestly, like if Noah Schultz figures it out and the other lefty, Hagen Smith, right? Like if maybe you get that 1-2 punch rolling, and I don't know. Maybe Murakami and Montgomery, like they could hit 30 bombs apiece, 35 bombs apiece, drive in some runs. I guess I've seen stranger things. You know, the 91 Braves and 91 Twins, for that matter, did go worst to first. So I guess weird things can happen. The Twins, I'm totally out on. Joe Ryan, he's hurt. Pablo Lopez has been gone for the entire season. Just that team's a car crash. Thankfully, Byron Buxton's healthy. That's all I really care about. The Royals have just been they did sweep Seattle, but other than that, they've been pretty stinky. I don't really trust the Tigers. The lineup in theory should be okay. You know, they had McGonagall's great. Torres walks a lot. You have a lot of power with Green and Torkelson and Kerry Bonds, but they just something about them when you don't have the Skubal element, you can like relax. And then Valdez, Ralph is calling him a sore loser in the chat. I don't know about sore loser. He was probably mad that Trevor Story was looking into his glove, but and allowing 10 runs. But
yeah, I was gonna say, sounds like kind of a skill issue, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I might take the Guardians to win the division. I don't know what the odds are on like FanDuel or whatever, but 17%, I'll take them.
I was about to say, I want to bring up to you guys then for the White Sox here, because honestly, I'm fairly high on them here. Over under 4.5 place. Where do they place in the division? Higher or lower than 4.5?
What do you? Okay,
I'm taking the over on that.
I'm taking the over in that. I think they come in 4th. That was my prediction before the season. Because I'm respectfully, the Twins, they've come down to earth since their hot start. They're not actually that great. The White Sox actually have reasons to be excited this year. You know what? Good for the White Sox.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have Murakami. They have some young arms who I think are exciting. Davis Martin is balling out this year. But right now the division's such a mess, really. But I think they're probably 4th. They probably win between 65 and 75 games. I'm just curious to see if the team actually pulls away this year.
I doubt it. I think this is going to be a race to the very end. Yeah, Ralph Pierce saying that Tigers are winning the division with 75 wins. You know what? I've seen Stranger Things. Not the TV show on Netflix. But, man, I think the White Sox will probably be 4th. I mean, I think there is a universe where they finish 3rd here. But, I mean, I look at every team right now in the American League Central, and their flaws are so imminent. They are so obvious to see. Whereas some of the bright spots, not near as much, especially with the Tigers right now. Their biggest bright spot, I think we could all kind of agree here, was McGonagall and pitching. And, well, starting pitching, I should say. Now they don't have starting pitching. So now you just have McGonagall. Pretty cool. But then you look at the Twins. They've got Byron Buxton. Pretty cool. You've got the Royals. You got Bobby Witt Jr. Pretty cool. Like, that's what this division is. Like, you have 2 players on every team, and that's about it.
Yeah, man. I still think the White Sox finish in 5th. I have my concerns with the depth of the lineup and the depth of the rotation. And as you get into June, July, August, I think it'll be worn down. So yeah, Montgomery's great. I love Murakami. But it's the second tier of White Sox players that I'm not so sure of. The third tier of White Sox players I'm not so sure of. When it's August 11th, to pick out a random date, and you're playing the, Cincinnati Reds, and on a random, Tuesday, and you're giving away, a Pope hat. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I think they're going to lose that game. I think the Reds are better anyways, but I think that's the kind of game they're just going to lose. And I think there's going to be a lot of games like that they just kind of lose, that you're on your 8th starter, or you're playing your 3rd center fielder, or Murakami gets a day off, or Montgomery's DHing, so you have someone not named Colson Montgomery playing shortstop, or both of your catchers are on the IL, or any number of random things. I think the White Sox are more prone to those sorts of like shortcomings, if you will, because they don't have a great depth of roster. Again, you love the top end talent, like Murakami and Montgomery legitimately been one of the top duos this year, but the depth behind that, like Alex pointed at, is not exactly anything to be to love.
Yeah, and that's something that you have to really kind of take into account. And honestly, like I said earlier, that plays probably more into the Tigers' favor at this moment, because it means that you're not going to be out these guys forever. It just means that when you are out, you're on a little bit more of an even playing field than you would normally be. So I like the fact that I think they still very much could win the division. I think that we can never sleep on teams like the Guardians, especially after last year here, where they just find ways to win. They just find ways to keep going. If you have a generational run again from Bobby Witt, and by generational, I mean just a normal year for Bobby Witt, then you have a team here, if they follow up even remotely after him, then they will be able to, compete for the top here. White Sox, I don't think they're going to win the division. I do think they're going to make some noise, though. I would love to see them win the division. If they win the division, I'm going to be so happy, because legitimately that would be all of baseball analysts out there just completely eating crow. That would be the funniest thing of all, including all the people that said that Murakami can't hit a fastball. So, fun times there. So, I don't know. I think right now the news for the Tigers, right, it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. I like the Titanic analogy, but this is, you just hit the iceberg. The next actions that you do will define your season. If you go on a torrent losing pace, you're not going to be able to make it up. If you play and tread water and be safe, making it all the way to, say, the trade deadline here, then this team, I think, could be a major player at the deadline, and then could fix up some of the holes that they have here, aka relief pitching and, some of your other positional needs.
All right, I'm going to spring this on you. De facto 3 words only. What happens to Tarik Skubal's next contract?
Ooh, okay, so 3 words only for this one?
Yep. So does he get traded? Does he lose $100 million? Come at me.
Okay.
I'm going to go here and just go out and say it. Hollywood blank check. Doesn't matter. He's going to waltz over to Hollywood after the season. I hate that I'm saying that, but unfortunately, I'm just going to give it to you guys straight.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter his injury, whatnot. Plus, the Dodgers like going after those guys anyway. Look at what they did with Blake Snell. I mean, I don't think it's going to deter them.
Glasnow also just got hurt, I believe, too. So.
Yeah, I mean their pitchers tend to get hurt, and they're still ready for October, so it doesn't seem to matter.
All right, here's my favorite words here. I'm going to quote my main man, Stone Cold Steve Austin here. Bam, non-factor. It doesn't matter. Legitimately, like, no matter what happens this season, as long as he doesn't, get injured for the entire season, whatever happened whatever was going to happen, still going to happen anyway. Any team is going to be wanting to give him a contract offer. It's probably going to be the Dodgers, who are going to give him $200 billion for a 2-year contract here, deferred all the way to the year 47-23. But, that's just... I don't think that this injury here is any indication that there's going to be more injuries later on. Like, this is just a thing of like, oh yeah, there's some bone chips in there. Let's go get it cleaned up, because we know that right now does not matter. We know that right now all you're doing is wasting innings here. And because at this point, he's not even auditioning to get a big contract. He's already there. Like, this is the one where basically the only reason why he is still in Detroit right now is because of the rules when it comes to rookie contracts. Here, legitimately, if it was hey, we don't want to, so I don't want what you guys are going to be paying me, he'd have already hit the free agent market this year, if not the year before. So, with all that being said here, there is a lot of question marks here, but I think you're able to whiff on those question marks a little bit more just because of the division that you're in here. But for Skubal specifically, bam, non-factor.
All right. I like Ralph's idea. This is something my dad actually brought up to me. He's like, do you think the Tigers could extend Skubal? Probably not. I don't think there would be any harm in trying to. And I believe they legally can trade him while he's hurt. But if you're a team acquiring him, that's a little bit iffy. I was giving my dad the example of, if you're the Brewers and you want to make a CC Sabathia style move and trade for Skubal for 2 months and make the playoffs and try to win the World Series, you're not going to want to give up Jesus Mate. You're not going to want to give up the Cooper Pratt, who they extended. You're not going to want to give up your top prospects, because not only is Skubal going to pitch for you for 2 months, you don't know how quality those innings are going to be, given that he's hurt right now. So I do want to bring up, as the Braves fan, there are 2 distinct possibilities with the elbow stuff, the bone chips. The Braves are looking at Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrop. Spencer Schwellenbach had a more invasive procedure. He got injured first. He will be returning about a month later than Hurston Waldrop. Waldrop, like I said, got hurt later, but he has a less invasive procedure. We don't have that information yet from Tigers, and they also don't have a pitcher to compare it to like the Braves do. So also, how's it going, Eddie? Your Mets look a little bit better, I guess.
I was going to say, Eddie.
Couldn't have looked any worse, so
That's true. And they played the Angels.
Yeah, that's always a confidence booster. Sorry. Do we have any Angels fans in here? I'm sorry. I'm just telling the truth here.
Woof. I hope not. All right, fellas, I got the question of the day.
All
right. It's actually a series of questions, and Eddie got the 2021. That's the wrong side. 2021 Braves, baby. Chop off. All right. These are some baseball semantics questions. I will give you the phrase, and you tell me if it's A or B, in your opinion. If I say a pitcher struck out the side, did they, A, face 3 batters and strike all of them out, or B, just strike out the batters for the 3 outs, but it doesn't matter what else happened in the inning?
A.
It's B.
Okay.
Easy.
Number 2, if I say a pitcher retired the side, is it A, 3 batters faced, 3 outs, or works anytime a pitcher finishes an inning?
B.
Okay. And what about how does the double play or a triple play affect that? So a single, double play, strikeout. Does that constitute retiring the side, or is that
that's a 1-2-3?
Okay.
It's like that's
so
an unconventional
confused right
1-2-3.
Okay.
Retiring the side.
What?
Great. Okay. If I say a clean inning, does that mean no base runners or just no runs?
No base runners.
No base runners. Yeah.
Okay. If I say base hit, is that singles only, all hits, or total bases?
All hits.
I'm gonna all hits.
Okay. And a crooked number begins with any run scored, 2, 3, 4, or 5+.
Any
2.
number.
Okay.
Any number above 0, I should say.
Okay. Fair enough. Bullpen for hire, great name. Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The Mariners need bullpen help. Everyone's broken. Please help.
Whoa, buddy. You have Jose Suarez. What more could you want?
Yeah. I mean,
Jose
seriously.
Suarez.
Everyone else.
Fair enough. And the Munoz was down, and he kind of stinks right now.
Yeah, Munoz. I love him so much. I've seen him be so great. Please figure it out.
It do be like that. And Tyler Kinley, figure it out, pal. Stop allowing base runners. You were so good. Then we went to Colorado, and he reverted back to his Coors form. All right, it is time for the WAR update. We forgot to do it last week.
Before we do the WAR update, I do apologize. I am sorry. Yeah, I want to keep on the question of the day here for a second here on why, at least for some of these, like how we say it here, because I'm honestly surprised that Mac and I had different answers for almost everything on that.
I mean, look, I'm thinking striking out the side. At least, I don't know. When I was going to games, I was taught if you strike out the side, you only face 3 batters and you struck them all out. Whereas if you're retiring the side, it's just all right, you set those guys down, the inning is over. That's just my thought process.
My thought process was that for striking out the side at that point usually means that top half of the inning here, right? So that if you strike out the side, it is all 3 of those outs. However, retiring the side here doesn't carry the same virtue as striking out the side because it's not near as impressive here. So if you retire the side, it usually means that it went 1, 2, 3, or you had what I like to call the unconventional 1, 2, 3 of a single double play or strikeout. Single double play, strikeout, or strikeout double play type thing here, where it was not your traditional 1, 2, 3, but close.
All right, good answers, boys. Time for the WAR draft update. Mac leads the way. He has 21.2 WAR, followed closely by me with 21.1 WAR. Shout out to the now injured Tarik Skubal. Rest in peace, my season. And Alex is bringing up the rear at 19.2. He's within striking distance. It'd be nice if he had a decent pitcher on his roster. As Garrett Crochet and Anthony Munoz, I'm sorry, I did it again. Andreas Munoz are both in the negatives. And Mac has no negatives. Congratulations. Awards-wise, though, Alex McQueen is losing speed here, but you're still in the lead. You're at 127%. I'm at 124%, and Mac is down at 102. Otani is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for both for Alex and I, while Mac is being carried by McGonigal, Skeens, and McLean in a tight little 3 mix there. Shout out to Dylan Cease. He's giving me 12%, and then Murakami and McGonigal right back and forth, 42% McGonigal, 40% Murakami. Okamoto staying alive. He's at 9%. So rocking and rolling. Eddie, tell Carson and Ty to get in the chat and fire off some baseball questions or hockey questions, I guess. I am wearing the hockey jersey today. So, fellas, that was the WAR draft update and the awards draft. I guess that's not a draft. Awards update brought to you by this Washington Capitals jersey. Any guesses on who the player is?
Ovechkin?
No.
That was going to be my guess, but honestly.
It is our glorious American shootout king, TJ Oshie.
Oh, TJ Oshie. Okay.
Nice.
All right. We move from Detroit to a different team that once employed Carlos Correa and a team that currently employs Carlos Correa. Joe Ryan is on the injured list or got injured. I don't know if he's officially been moved to the injured list. And Carlos Correa, now of the Houston Astros, is out for the year with a broken ankle. Fellas, pick one and go along your way.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on Correa here. It's happened during batting practice. It's a pretty bizarre injury. I mean, look, not as bizarre as Matt Boyd, who apparently tore his meniscus sitting down to play with his kids. But it's kind of unfortunate. Correa's had a lot of medical issues in the past. And, you remember back when that one off season where he failed the physical with the Giants, failed physical with the Mets. I mean, there were concerns about his lower body in particular, I remember, and now his ankle has popped. And the Astros, it just, they keep, the hits just keep coming for them. It feels like, they already haven't had Hader. Pena's hurt. Now Correa's hurt. It just feels like they're not playing at 100%. And their offense has been doing so much heavy lifting for them. But really, it feels like every time you think, all right, maybe they're starting around into form, it's another injury. So Yeah, rough going for the boys in Houston, and Correa out for the year. Who knows if he's going to be healthy going forward next year? But unfortunately, this kind of felt like a ticking time bomb, and this injury is way worse than I could have expected.
Yeah, no, I'll also talk on Correa here. Is it weird for me to say that I feel bad for the Astros? Like, I feel like that's weird for me to say at this point here, but no, yeah, the entirety of their team just keeps falling apart. You brought up the term that the hits just keep on coming. Yeah, I guess because that's the only kind of baseball they have right now here, and those hits being from one and only Yordangus Alvarez. But yeah, I mean, this felt inevitable. I feel bad saying that here, but this guy has had injury issues for the last few years. It was really just about when was it going to turn into a big one, and this is the big one. For an aging shortstop / third baseman, you have to be nimble. You have to be able to move like that, and he's shown that he can't. Here, he is having a lot of trouble here, and what I wonder is how much longer he's going to play. Right now, here, Carlos Correa is 31 years old. That is weird for me to think, right? He is only 31. But the more you look at what he has done in his career, he has the body here of a 38-year-old. He has continuously been playing through a lot of other injuries. He's played a lot more extra baseball than a lot of other teams, a lot of other players have, considering how often the Astros have made it into the playoffs. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel bad for him. I feel bad for the Astros with how much of an injury plague they've gotten here to where it feels weird because, like, I'm sort of trying to relate this back to, like, the Seahawks versus 49ers thing where when both teams were at their best, it was a legendary rivalry. Now, when one just falls off, it just doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel right. There's a lot of talk in the chat right now about Yordan getting traded to different teams. No, there's no chance that Yordan is getting traded.
You know, unfortunately, the first thought I had when the Astros tripped out of the gate was, I wonder if Yordan will get traded. Guys, to be honest, don't see it happening.
I also,
even if the Astros like fall completely flat on their faces, that's like the one guy they won't trade, I bet.
Yeah, I need to. I'm trying to see here. There has to have been because there's no way that this is correct. There is absolutely no way that this is correct. But Carlos Correa's Wikipedia page here shows his last name as Carlos Javier Correa Oppenheimer Jr. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's his name. Yeah, no.
Is that actually his name?
That's his name. Yes.
Wait, I was literally Googling it and nothing else said it.
That is actually his name. Hang on. Look at Baseball Reference. Baseball Reference only says Carlos Javier Correa, but I remember learning that. Yeah. Oh
my gosh.
Was born to Carlos Correa Sr. and Sanibel Oppenheimer.
That is I thought that was just a joke about his ankle blowing up.
No. That's his real last name. Yeah.
Legitimately, I didn't speak for a while because I'm just like, there's no way that's actually his last name. There's absolutely no way that is his last name. Here. Add to Eddie. Sorry, Splash, but it's Yordan. Yordan's a better hitter.
Wow. Okay, shots fired.
I'm not doing shots fired. I'm just bringing my actual opinion.
Okay, fellas. I have two names I'm going to bring up. Which one smells more like Carlos Correa to you? Number one, Nomar Garciaparra. Number two, Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, that is a very tough question. I'm going to lean Tulo because I
lean
Tulo. The glove reminds me of Tulo more.
For me, it's the fact of it's nothing that has to do with real stats. It is the fact of, I think with Nomar Garcia, like you said with Nomar, right? He was a lot more relevant throughout his entire career, I felt like. Here, and then Tulo had an incredible high and then just kind of fell off. And it's starting to feel the same way here with Correa.
Also, Nomar's peak was like one of the best we've ever seen offensively for a shortstop, and I don't think Correa's quite hit that.
Hey, they have the same career OPS plus, Garciaparra and Correa. So just throwing that out there. But it's really a shame that Correa's missed so much time. Like on a rate basis, he's like a Hall of Fame shortstop. It's like it is what it is. But unfortunately, he has not had the rate enough to get into maybe like fringe conversations, but he needs like a solid back half of his career, and losing out on his entire age 31, age 32 season, like that's not going to roll like that. And they're very close in WAR. Correa is a little bit ahead because of the excellent defense, and Carlos admittedly like kind of gamed his WAR. Obviously, WAR wasn't around during most of Garciaparra's career, but Correa would intentionally like not take the extra base in case he might get thrown out. So he kind of would pick and choose his spots. Although Garciaparra wasn't some savant of a base runner himself, but Correa better defender. Garciaparra in his prime a better hitter. He hit .313 for his career for what that's worth. 521 slug. Now offensively inflated.
His Boston days were insane.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Hanley Ramirez on the Marlins, that man was special.
Yeah,
50 steals.
Another batting champion.
Hit 350 1 year?
Yeah, in the 340s, I know. He had a 30-30 season. Yeah, he was a monster. Only he could play the defense at all at shortstop.
Yeah, Guardians legend, or I guess Indians legend, Hanley Ramirez.
Oh yeah, back then, yeah.
Quick question here, and it brings up a really interesting one. When did OPS become relevant?
I would say probably the 2010s.
I want to say mid to late 2010s.
Yeah,
about when I think people started to honestly like really use it as like a metric for how good a hitter was. But
yeah, I will say it is a stat in MLB Power Pros 2008.
This is true.
So maybe it was the 2000s or the 90s?
At this point now, it might be all the way back in 1947. I don't know.
I would say no on that one. Although Branch Rickey was ahead of his time.
Branch Rickey absolutely was.
Both on base percentage and slugging. I think OPS is like an underground stat. It's been around since like the 70s. Like this is like Wade Boggs, for example, OPS king because he drew so many walks and got tons and tons of hits. But yeah, I'd say like it wasn't one of the main stats in MLB Power Pros. It was shoved all the way to the end of the table. So at that point, you cared more about batting average, home runs, RBI, or runs scored, hits. Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously OPS is really valuable, and it's you can have a 313 batting average that's pretty empty versus a Kyle Schwarber profile that hits 213 but 40 home runs and draws 100 walks. So there's that. Fellas, any other injuries you would like to touch on? I do want to point out Joe Ryan has been cleared to start on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant if I'm the Minnesota Twins, but that they need all the help they can get at this point.
Yeah.
Although Byron Buxton, please stay healthy. Please stay healthy.
Yeah.
Please stay healthy.
I want Buxton to stay healthy just because it's so much more fun to watch him play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just don't play against Seattle. I'm okay with that. But don't play against Seattle. But no, he can go off, King.
I wanted to get to Eddie's question here. Top 3 favorite MLB ballparks. I'm trying to think about how many I've been to. Also, I think I've. Let's see. The only team in the East I haven't been to is Tampa. I'm missing most of the Central divisions in both leagues. I've been to every ballpark except Atlanta in the NL East. Been to, so I think if we're talking top 3, I'm not going to include Citi Field just because that's the one I've been to like 1,000 times, or Shea Stadium, all that. I'd say in no particular order, my non-home ballparks, T-Mobile Park, PNC Park, and then that third one's tough because I love Fenway, I love Coors Field, I love Camden Yards. I think number 3, I'm going to go Fenway.
That's fair. So is this all ballparks or just ones we've been to?
I would assume just ones we've been to.
Okay, then for me, yeah, T-Mobile Park will always be number one because I have to, and it's brilliance. Number two, I'm gonna go with Wrigley. Wrigley, just because of the history.
I still need to go.
It's beautiful. It is absolutely spectacular. The course, no. The concourse, no. The field itself, absolutely yes. But then one that really puts it all together, Oracle Park.
It's another stadium I need to hit. Yeah,
it's so great.
Yeah. So I haven't been to as many as I think I have. So generally, I would say like the top three would probably be Oriole Park, which I've been to, Oracle Park, which I've not been to, but I know that's like beautiful, and you get the into McCovey Cove and all the history there. You know, Bonds hitting 756 and hitting 71st home run back in 2001. That is at the top of my list. Wrigley, of course, Fenway, Yankee Stadium. But in terms of my favorite that I've been to, probably Oriole Park. True is just like so cool with how the battery's integrated. It's like a village, you know. It's like an environment to watch.
That's
baseball.
what I've heard. Yeah,
yeah. I'm a big fan of it, and then I like America. They've had the fountains. You have the tiger statues. You got the the Ford stuff. So I like America. So I go Oriole Park, Truist, and Comerica.
Yeah, I have not been to Comerica yet. I haven't been to Truist. You know, it's a little unfortunate. My brother lived in Atlanta for about 6 years, and we never made it to a Braves game. They were never in town when we were there. It felt like.
And I'd like to go to
kind of awkward timing.
I'd like to go to PNC Park.
PNC is awesome. Love
right
PNC.
field. That'd be cool. That would be lots of fun.
I highly recommend PNC Park. Also, tickets are very cheap. So if you're ever there, you probably sit behind home plate for about $30.
Sounds good to me.
I want to answer Eddie's question. How far is T-Mobile Park to the Huskies college football stadium? Not far. Legitimately, like just get on I-5 and go through the main part of the city, and you're right there. It is less than 5 miles.
Yeah.
Fair.
I will say if you're, I don't know if there are any soccer guy. I'm not a soccer guy personally, but Citi Field is soon going to have, or in the near future, going to have a soccer stadium right across the way. NYCFC stadium is being built. Right now, though, if you want to see an NYCFC game, you go to Yankee Stadium of all places. They occasionally play at Citi Field too, but yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. I've been playing a lot of MLB Power Pros lately. I miss Shea Stadium, like the aura it had. Like obviously, I've seen my fair share of games at Citi Field, and I've seen more games at Citi Field than Shea Stadium. But I've played more video games at Shea Stadium than Citi Field. So
you know, Shea was not the nicest stadium, but it was our dump. I just there was so much nostalgia at that stadium. There's the outline of the batter, the neon outside the stadium. There's the picnic area in left field. Yes, Shea Stadium. I have a lot of great memories there. So yeah, it'll always be up there for me, even if it wasn't necessarily the greatest stadium.
Yeah, I feel that way about both the TED and Fulton County Stadium. At least from the highlights of Fulton County, I went to the TED on 2 dozen occasions. Obviously, didn't go to Fulton County, but yeah, great stuff.
My dad got to go to Turner for a playoff game. Like it was like he was in Atlanta on business and got to go like Astros Braves in I think 2004. Yeah, because Beltran was on the team. Like he somehow on business got to go to a playoff game at Turner.
Nice.
I will say the Kingdom gets very romanticized here. If you really look back, that stadium was legitimately it was a turf field. Right underneath the turf was basically concrete.
Yeah, so, I've heard there and what's it called? It was there and the Astrodome were like not actually good stadiums. Like I actually the Astrodome though, I've literally never heard anyone say anything good about that stadium.
It's beautiful when you just look at them, but trying to actually even take a step onto it, and you're like, oh no, I see the issue here.
If you want a nice indoor stadium, by the way, Rogers Center.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yes. I have not been back since they renovated it, but even before the renovations, other than their lack of cup holders, it was a pretty nice stadium, and probably I'd say the best team store of any team in the majors.
I want so badly to have one night, like maybe this is like a birthday party thing or something. I want to have the hotel room that looks over the field.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's in the stadium. That is so cool.
It looks
that
so
idea
cool.
is so great.
Fellas, before we transition to trivia, sorry, Mac, I was doing some cursory Googling yesterday. I was watching Family Feud and they asked, what's a weird place you might get proposed to? And I thought, what about a baseball stadium? Turns out Yankee Stadium, you can do this. You can pay them a whole lot of money and you can, propose at home plate with your significant other. So,
I mean, I think that's actually at a lot of stadiums they have something like that. I remember
I'm sure
years ago
the Yankees were just top of the page.
Fair enough. There was a graphic I saw that had like what the going price was for like having your wedding ceremonies at the stadium.
Yep.
Here, and like the Yankees obviously was like the most expensive.
I know. Yeah. I know people have gotten married at Citi Field too. Yeah. It's just I know that like Laura Albany is the Newsday reporter, has this whole spiel like, man, enough of the scoreboard proposals. Like you're putting up the message on the board. Or did you see the one at Fenway the other day? That was like the most painfully awkward thing I've ever seen. I look. Maybe don't do it at the ballpark or on the big screen.
I don't have an issue of doing it at the ballpark. My issue is that you're doing it during the game and you're not saying the words. You're letting a screen.
Yeah, you're putting it on the screen.
Like I understand, you want to be in front of people here, but legitimately, I'm a guy that likes to put effort into certain things. That is the most least effort thing that you could do for a proposal.
Was it? Eddie. Yes, that's the one I'm referring to. The one I don't know if she actually said no, but it was very awkward looking, that exchange.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe you would run that by your significant other first, or maybe I don't know. I obviously haven't proposed to anyone before, but I don't know. If I were in that situation, I would say like propose elsewhere and like get everything yes. But if you wanted to do it publicly, then yeah, sure, at a ballpark would be cool, but not like a yes or no in the moment, just a confirmation. That would be pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah.
Eddie, I'm sorry, real quick here. I think we have a spell check error here. I don't think that's how you're supposed to spell MLB Power Pros 2008. You missed a few of the key things there, bud.
Yeah, there's MVP there. It's actually MLB.
Yeah.
College baseball should be Power Pros.
Yeah. And the 2006, I mean, you got close. You were just 2 digits away.
Yeah, very, very. In fact, 1 digit away.
Well, yeah, 2 numbers, 1 digit. Yeah.
So very close, Eddie. Good job. You're making progress.
Good effort.
Speaking of progress, we have our reigning trivia champion, McCorkle. Let me get the graphic. Whoa. McCorkle. There we go.
Hold on, wait. I think do we actually get to use it this time here? I think we have sound effects we have not used like ever here. Do we actually have ones that we could use?
Dang,
it didn't work. I thought we had that, but no. It looks like that has been erased.
Could you like applause, heartbeat fast? These kind of suck. Sorry.
No, but we can do this.
Darn. Brought to you by Francisco Lindor and the New York Mets.
Oof. All right.
Just got to try harder not to suck.
That's actually the one I was looking for. I decided just to keep it simple, run back one of my favorite segments. Did he play for? Let's do this again.
Yep. I knew this was coming.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I remembered about 5 minutes before recording that I was on trivia duty. So here I was like, you know what? This actually seems like an appropriate week for this. So here we are. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, it's like who he played for on Inside the NBA, except we just give you a player and a team, and you have to tell me if they actually played for them.
We also cannot say the Guangdong Tigers, ni hao.
No, unfortunately, the Guangdong Tigers are not an option here.
Nothing's stopping you from saying it, though.
Yeah, I know.
This is very true.
You could say like KT Wiz.
The
Vladimir
Kia Tigers,
Valentine.
I think.
I don't think
The
I could.
Samsung Lions.
I don't think I could match a player with his like Japanese or Korean or non-American team or non.
Yeah, the Yomiuri
I
Giants.
know a few. I
don't think I could
Yeah.
just match one off the top of my head. Like I know some teams like the Yomiuri Giants, but I can't like think of exactly one person who played for them.
I mean, like I know some players like Major League that have played for Japanese teams.
Oh.
So like for example, here Jose Lopez has played for the Yokohama Dynamo Stars as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Okay. 2020 National League Cy Young played for them too.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. And so did Anthony K.
Did Ichiro play for Nippon Ham Fighters?
No, he played for the Oryx Blue Wave.
That's
he
right.
played for the Blue Wave. Yu Darvish and Shohei Ohtani both played for the Fighters.
That's right.
That's where I saw Shohei play as a rookie.
Okay, as long as those aren't on the docket, I should be okay.
Yeah. All right, so obviously you guys know the rules here.
So do I.
To decide who goes first, Alex, give me a number between 1 and 30.
You keep making this what I have to do. 24.
All right, Splash.
What I got to do 23.
The correct answer was 17.
Yeah.
So, Splash, do you want to receive or do you want to defer?
I would like to receive, please.
All right. Your first player is Greg Maddux. Did he play for the San Diego Padres?
Yes, sir, indeed. That, I believe, is his team in MLB Power Pros 2008.
Correct. He began the year on the Padres. Later in the year, finished up his career on the Dodgers.
I believe he also was on there in 2007 in MLB Power Pros.
I believe he played multiple years. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he has the record for most years with a stolen base without getting caught stealing.
Yes. He played parts of two. He played a full season in 2007, and then made 26 starts for the Padres before going back to the Dodgers. The only time I saw him pitch in person was on the Dodgers, though. All right. What's your name? Alex. Wow.
Wow, dude.
Anyways,
all right, Matthew?
Alex, your player is Jose Bautista.
Okay.
Did he play for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays?
No, he did not.
Oh, that is incorrect. He did play very briefly, about a dozen games on the Devil Rays before he found his footing. So, Splash, you have a 1-0 lead. Right. Going to another former Braves pitcher, Craig Kimbrell. Did he play for the Colorado Rockies?
Kimbrell has not taken the trek up to Coors as a home pitcher, so no.
Correct. He has played for 10 teams. The Rockies are not one of them. All right, you 2-0 lead, Alex.
What's funny is I knew both of the ones that Splash had.
All right, well, let's see if you can get this one. Mike Piazza, did he play for the Oakland A's?
Ooh. Yes, he did.
Correct. Last team he played on in his career were the A's.
Somehow wasn't teammates with Frank Thomas.
Yep, that's right.
Impressive.
Thomas was on the Blue Jays by that point.
Thomas played, I think, 06 and 08 with the A's.
06 and 08, yep.
Yeah. Shout out to MLB Power Pros. Thank you.
All right, so you're on the board here. Splash, your player is Papa Grande, Jose Valverde.
Ooh.
Did he play for the New York Mets?
I'm going to say yes, he did play for the Mets.
Yes, he did. He did not pitch very well for them, but he lasted until about Memorial Day. I think his last appearance was on Memorial Day, and then he got cut. So you're up 3-1. Let's go back to Alex. Your player is Carlos Delgado. Did he play for the Boston Red Sox?
No, he did not.
That is correct. Carlos Delgado signed a minor league contract with the Red Sox, never actually played in a game for them. He retired at his last major league game was in 2009 with the Mets. So you're hanging in there.
Barely, we're still here, bud.
He would have been a sick DH if they didn't have Big Papi.
True.
Yeah.
Why didn't the Rays sign Delgado or Bonds or someone?
Well, what year are you referring to? Because
like
in 08 he was still he was still under contract with the Mets.
Like 08 Bonds was available.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well,
they went to the World Series without him, fair enough, but
they could have used him though against
Bonds was just too busy, in the kitchen making a balanced breakfast.
Like imagine if they had Bonds in like 08, 09 and then like Delgado in like 10, 11 or something.
10, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
he gets to 500 home
Delgado was
runs.
banged up. I mean, he had to retire mainly because of injuries. So
That's true. I wonder. This could be a great question of the day in the future. What player would have benefited the most if Universal DH had come earlier?
yeah,
That would be a good conversation to have. Yeah.
Or like a, I don't know, like a player in the
Daniel
50s
Murphy.
that would have been a Edgar Martinez, Big Poppy type, but had to play the field because in 1952 there was no DH.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right. Splash, your player, Steve Carlton, the Hall of Famer. Did he play for the Montreal Expos?
Yes, I believe that was his third of. Well, I'm going to lock in yes. He might have played for more than three. He definitely played for more than three teams, but yes, Expos, yes.
He did not play for the Expos. He played for 6 teams: the Phillies, Cardinals, Twins, Indians, White Sox, and Giants.
Tough.
No Expos. So you've cracked the door open here for Alex.
I can tie it right here.
Yeah, your player is he, I believe, still has the record for total bases in the game. Or maybe he got shattered. Sean Green. Did he play for the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that is so close. You are incorrect.
Darn.
I
thought I remember seeing like an MLB The Show card of it or something.
You know, Sean Green, the reliever, played for the Brewers, but Sean Green, the outfielder, did not.
I mean, you didn't specify which. You just said Sean Green.
You know, you are right.
No, he did say the total bases thing.
I said the
Yeah,
total
but
bases
I mean,
thing,
Sean
but-
Green probably had an at-bat in his career.
I mean, maybe, but
No, I'm not going to vote that way. I'm not going to tie the game.
I was on your side, and then I remembered he said the total bases thing.
all right. So Splash is the de facto winner, but do you guys want to do the tiebreaker anyway?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. The tiebreaker guy was Darren O'Day.
Hmm.
Did he play for the Angels?
Yes.
That's correct. He debuted with the Angels. They put him up on waivers. They put him up for the Rule 5 draft. The Mets claimed him, offered him back to the Angels. The Rangers picked him up, and his career kind of took off from there. So Splash is this week's winner, and that means he will host trivia next week.
Should we
Good job,
run back the Bid
Splash.
McPhee game, fellas?
I mean, honestly, I would do it.
That was
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Bid McPhee 2.0 coming soon. All right, fellas. Thank you, Mac, for hosting the Triviathan. We now head to the moment to ourselves. Would anyone like to go first? If not, I would be happy to.
Go for it, then, I'd say.
All right. Count me down.
Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
First off, I wonder what idiot made these graphics, who sucks at designing graphics. I designed the graphics, by the way. Hello, friends. PSG is back in the Champions League final. They get to play Arsenal in a couple weeks. I'm excited. It's a little strange when you so I'm a big baseball fan, and football it's like my 1B, I would say. But it's strange when you're like lesser favorite sports. When the team you like I'm a Red Wings fan. They had a good season until I started paying more attention. It's like, oh, they might make the playoffs, and then they went through just a horrendous March and horrendous April, and they are back in the draft lottery, which they of course did not win. Toronto did. And then PSG, I don't play FIFA much anymore. It's not even called FIFA anymore. And it's like, oh yeah, PSG is now the best team in the world. They won the Champions League last year for the first time ever, and this year they're back in the championship game. It's like, okay, great. Why don't the Ravens ever win? Yeah, it would be nice if Lamar won a ring, that'd be great. It'd be nice if Ronald won a legitimate ring. That'd be great. I would like my favorite players to win championships, please. Just one singular championship, por favor? Question mark? Matt Olson's Hall of Fame candidacy would look a lot better with a ring.
Yeah.
I know what that's like, though.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm a primary baseball fan, but I remember during the pandemic, the Knicks randomly became good out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, now I'm gonna get invested back in the NBA. It's I mean, it gives me something else to root for, though. It's it's a distraction sometimes. I don't know. When the Mets were really bad, it was like, oh, well, football season's coming up at least, or basketball season or something. I wish I could get more into hockey. I like watching hockey like in person.
Fun.
It's really fun. It's just I've had a hard time actually getting into the NHL.
I feel like, especially in Seattle, it's kind of hard to get into the NHL just because, like, for the Kraken games are so expensive. Here to go.
Same with the Rangers here, man.
If you really want like a fun, cheap experience here at the Showbox, they have the Seattle Thunderbirds, which are like 16 and up type thing for like minor league type hockey. I think it's like AWL, something. It starts with an A now. And if you want to see,
the AHL, yeah, we had the Syracuse Crunch,
yes, and those are some of the most hard-hitting, brutal games I have ever seen, because you have these kids that are just hungry to make it. Here, like, I don't see very many fights in the NHL level. You go to the AH level, and it's basically a UFC fight down there.
That's it's hockey's fun in person. I've been to a couple.
I agree.
2 or 3 games. I think I go when the Red Wings are in town.
I've been to one college and one NHL.
I actually just went to a Kraken game not too long ago. Actually, it was part of a package deal thing, and they went into triple overtime. It actually went into first the regular overtime, and then shootout, and then they needed extra shots after the regular shootout.
Yeah,
that was
shout out to TJ Oshie.
Shout out Oshie. But I did not know that apparently the first round of overtime is 3v3 and goalie hockey.
Yep,
I did not know that.
If you watch the U.S. versus Canada match, you would be abundantly clear. A lot of people didn't like it.
I thought that was just. I didn't think that was NHL rules. I thought that was just for the Olympics.
Hockey's a lot of fun watching. Yes. It's very stressful.
Yes.
I don't think there's another sport. Maybe soccer, I guess, but with hockey, it's such fast, not violent, but well, I guess it is violent, but like such fast chaos, just back and forth. Like a goal could happen at any moment. At least soccer, there's some element of if the ball is on the other end, you're not scoring in the next 30 seconds. So you can kind of look at your phone or have a conversation with someone. But hockey, like all it takes is one
everything.
Pass. Yeah. It's like, okay, 3 seconds, bang, right? It can kind of conjure up. Also, I want to give a massive negative shout out to the Boston Celtics. What are you doing?
Oof, man, that was an L of all L's, man.
All right, who would like to proceed?
I'll go next.
All right, Alex, 3, 2, 1.
There are very few things more satisfying than seeing yourself improve at something and then finally understanding and seeing like what the actual improvement looks like. This is becoming me in golf, right? I love playing golf. I've always loved playing golf. Here, I was never great at it. I was good enough to make my high school team, played it for 3 years, lettered my final. But I remember back during my first year that I was so happy because I shot a 45 on 9 holes. And that was like the lowest that I had ever done here. This is back during my sophomore year. And by the end of it here, I was doing better, but it wasn't like, crazy better. Like I went from shooting like, 45 as being my best to like being my average. And then, going from there. And again, I haven't played like at competitive level for a while. Now I'm part of a club here and I play played a bunch of tournaments a couple of years ago and I'm playing in more tournaments now this year, now that my knee is at least operable. But I was playing around this weekend here just for fun, just to get the juices going. And I was happy with how I was hitting. I was executing shots that I was doing without thinking here. And I would just think back when I was like in high school and before that, where I would just be happy to hit the ball in the air, not just always topping everything. And now the fact that I don't top the ball almost at all, and if I do, some of the times it's actually intentional to try and keep the ball down here. Just seeing that improvement to be like, oh, I can just do this now. This is something I have worked on, and I've now gone to the point. Like this weekend, this round that I was talking about where I was hitting the ball pretty well, I shot an 83. Like a gross 83 with my handicap at that point puts me up below par. I was like, whoa. I was just happy to see that, like, all of these like changes that I made, all these things that over years and years of playing, just I had that little bit of reflection of being able to think back to, just being happy to put the ball in the air to now I'm trying to break 80. And the fact that it's becoming possible, especially since a lot of friends still tell me they're shooting in the 100s, it makes me honestly feel good. And there's very few more satisfying feelings than seeing something that you work on actually show up when you need it to. Like, again, one small example, I've been working on a flop shot to try and get better approaches on the green here, and you have to pick the ball pretty well clean with a 60 degree to get the right height on it. And on this last round, I got it every single time. I did not blade once. I did not chunk it once. It wasn't always perfectly placed, but the ball actually went into the air, went a decent bit in the air, and landed on the green. We absolutely take that. If you're still working on something, keep working.
Yeah, I agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Agree. And I asked you the Augusta question the other day, and I asked it to my godfather. He was quite good at golf and actually has played Augusta before. He said he would need in his prime, he would need a 2-stroke lead to hold off the best players in the world. And that man has some conviction to it. I believe him.
I've never swung a real golf club before.
Oh my God.
Okay. In my defense, I've lived my whole life in New York City where there are like 0 golf courses.
Have you at least been to a Top Golf?
I actually have not.
Oh my. Okay. So first LAR meetup. First we're off for doing the podcast. Second, we're going to Top Golf.
Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy because my brother got married at the Oakmont Country Club in Glendale, California. And the only reason we were able to get in is because his wife's uncle is a member there. It's like a really exclusive club. They've held these big tournaments there. None of us really have someone asked my dad once, like, have you ever had to learn golf for business purposes? And he said he's never had to play around in his life either. It's kind of crazy, but it's something that I feel like later in life I would want to learn at least learn how to play the game.
Can I tell a story for 5 seconds? Really close?
Yeah.
I've gotten to play golf with Taiwan Walker years and years ago. I've told this before. On the first hole of this was a par 3 course, but the first one was a short par 4. And I took out my 5-wood to hit instead of a driver like I normally do because I'm like, I don't want to show him up. I don't want to even remotely try to show him up here. I then somehow hit the most pure shot of my life, and I outdrove the green with my 5-wood.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, he looked at me and was like, damn. And I'm like, yeah, I had no idea I could do that either. I was trying to lay up, not drive the green.
There you go. My godfather got to play with Sid Bream after he got traded from Atlanta. So I have a Sid Bream hat. He signed his number on the bill back home. So one of my prized possessions.
That's sick. Really, yeah.
We got to get a Top Golf with the boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why I've never been. Well, that's another thing that doesn't exist in the city. They exist on Long Island and in New Jersey, but I don't think there are any in New York. I don't even know. I think there's a mini golf. I've played plenty of mini golf.
Okay.
Obviously, there is mini golf somewhere, but I don't know. I don't even remember where in the city there is mini golf.
If I can be honest here, I love Top Golf. I don't see the appeal, though. I love it because it is golf, and I enjoy this here. I watch people try to play Top Golf, and nobody knows what they're doing, and nobody can hit the ball.
That's the fun part. You're fooling around with the boys.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is I'm good.
That's okay. Fair. There's a bit of a skill gap here.
So it's fine. I've gone a couple times for friends for birthday parties and all that here, and they end up taking like videos of me while I'm doing it, because I'm the one that's like, you know, those videos of athletes that are like just blasting the ball.
Yeah,
like
Mike Trout, Junior Caminero, yeah.
That's what I was doing. I have videos to prove it.
I think I've seen some, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's awesome. But it's also like when everyone else is just having trouble getting the ball even 100 yards, and then here I am just blasting them.
Yeah.
It feels a little bad, especially when you look at the price and realize that a driving range is quite literally quadruple the balls for like a fourth of the price.
You know, you don't go there to practice golf. You go there to have a good hour with your boys.
Oh no, I'm aware. I know.
You get some food. You know, I went to Top Golf. We didn't play anything. We just got food after the Ravens-Texans playoff game, the most recent one. That was a lot of fun. I went with my cousin, aunt, and uncle. So I don't know. I enjoy Top Golf. I haven't been in a while. I haven't golf, quote unquote. Sorry, Alex. In quite a while. I should go play mini golf at some point.
Mini golf is so much fun, man.
Mini golf and Top Golf. We're doing it.
Yes, that's going to be the trifecta. And you know, baseball and golf are kind of like cousins in a way.
Sort of, yeah, a little bit.
It feels like every baseball player is good at golf.
There was
a lot of them are.
There's a really cool shirt from Baseballism that says you get the stages of a person's life by what kind of stick they use. And it was like it started out with, you know, like a rattle, then the T-ball bat, then all the other bets, and the last ones were a golf club and then a cane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of awesome. I like that.
That's a great one. All right, McCorkle, it is your time to shine.
All right, someone count me down.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, Nationals was awesome. Nationals were awesome in North Carolina over the weekend. Got 20 people from my team going, including my sister. Got to be on a relay with her. We were 6th among the local clubs that went in the standings, which is pretty cool. 12th in the overall team standings. I will say meet did not get off to a great start. Friday was kind of rough. And then I discovered the lovely beverage, Celsius. They were one of the few concessions I was even considering at the natatorium. And you know, I remember after my second race on Friday, I was like, I'm in an abnormal amount of pain, and like, you know, just I was trying to get loose afterwards. I went and got a Celsius, and I was like, wow, I feel like a human again. And then you know, I refueled after my first race on Saturday, which went pretty well, I thought. I had a Celsius after my first race, and I was getting closer to my second race because I had a long time in between, and I decided, you know, like, I'm starting to feel a low again. I'm gonna just go get another Celsius. So look, I'm not encouraging anyone to just, like, you know, get hooked on caffeine the way I am, but I was like, all right, I'm just going to have a second one. And then I went out and probably had the best race of my weekend. So shout out to Celsius. People on my team were drinking it all weekend. And it felt like our performance would get better depending on how much caffeine was in our system. So yeah, Celsius, please sponsor us. Signed Agua Masters. But yeah, it was an awesome weekend. Had a great barbecue team dinner at this really nice Airbnb in Greensboro. So yeah, really cool. And if we want to talk about arcade style games, we went bowling on Sunday as sort of like our post meet, you know, cool down a little bit, which is also a very fun social activity. So yeah, great weekend in Greensboro. And I'm hoping to go to Summer Nationals this year in Sacramento. So yeah, something to look forward to, but really it was just an awesome weekend down in Carolina.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I want to quickly shout out here both XYZ Ballin here with White Off Fahrenheit or Kelvin.
Kelvin, you know, that's a great question.
Legitimately, that made me giggle way more than it probably should have. So thank you both for that.
Kelvin, that's a great one, Ralph.
That's good.
The boys have been cooking tonight. Bowling's a lot of fun. I have an article to write tonight. Otherwise, I could go bowling. There's a bowling alley. I pass it every single day when I go to work.
Bowling's fun. Am I good at it? No, but you know, yeah.
I've bowled a handball,
but
that's about it.
Yeah, what's it called? My roommate, one of my roommates freshman year was New Jersey State champion in bowling. So he knows a thing or two about it. And then I had another friend in grad school who currently works for the PBA, and was a Division II bowler in college. So some people take the sport pretty seriously, but I'm not.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah, like Mookie Betts. I'm not really sure about how people get good at it. But it's a fun little social activity, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. Eddie asks in the chat, baseball is hardest, or besides baseball is golf the next hardest question? And it's like, I think every sport has its own challenges, I would say.
Here's the thing, right? Like, golf is a really tough sport because of the preciseness that goes along with it, but it's also the easiest sport in the amount of damage it does to your body in order to do it. Whereas, say, football is a harder sport because you can play it for a lot less time because it is so much more power on your body. Mm-hmm. Golf is a sport that is so hard to master, but once you do,
very technical, yeah,
you're still not going to be a pro usually.
Mm-hmm. Or even, like hockey, I think is always underrepresented here because it's like the other sports, like you're running around, but you're on skates.
And so also getting ice time is almost impossible unless you live in like one of those like very far northern states. Like, I mean, in New York, I'm pretty sure your ice time is either at 6 a.m. or 10 p.m. So good luck.
You're
Eddie, to answer your question real quick, Sal and Carmine's on 102nd and Broadway is my favorite pizza place.
I'm going to bring up the question here from Double Best Cricket or Baseball. Cricket is also severely underrated and amazing sport to play. Yeah. If you've ever had the chance to play cricket, go and do it. It is so much fun.
It also looks very difficult.
It is very difficult. But if you figure it out, like, again, it combines baseball and golf together. And it is very, very fun. Just be very careful because hitting people is legal. And that ball is not soft.
No. Have you guys seen
that thing feels like it's made out of straight up, like it feels like it's made out of pure metal.
Have you guys seen Highlight before?
Seen what?
It's like JAILAI, Highlight, something like that.
I don't know.
It's quite something. Also on ESPN yesterday, they had a World Mullet Championship.
Oh yeah, my friend when he worked in Buffalo got to cover that. It's like a huge deal apparently. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Yes. This is Highlight.
Oh, I have seen this. Yes.
Like I'm just terrified the ball's gonna like drill me in the noggin and like go through my face.
You're not gonna wake up at that point.
No. So that's Highlight. We could become a Highlight podcast if
no. No, we could not.
Okay, great. That'll do it for Losses Above Highlight.
Losses Above Highlight.
Yeah, it's like my old idea with having like a network of we have a baseball podcast, football podcast. It's all going to be Losses Above whatever.
I mean, we can still do that. Just
Losses Above PFF grade
on ESPN 9, the Nueve.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of Losses Above Replacement. Once again, rest in peace to John Sterling and Ted Turner. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Alex. You can follow us on the socials. If our wonderful bozo designer would figure it out, at LAR_baseball for the group of us, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can follow us individually. Alex is the Sports Guy 242. Mac is Mathias_A_K. And I'm Mr. Splashman19. And for all of us at Losses Above Replacement, Brian Wu is pretty good at baseball, I would say.
He is.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run!